Today guys, I'm going to give you a story time video. And it's about the time I got 2 duplicates of the 2 Princess Hero figures that I already had from that one series alone. So one day I was at the mall with my mom and my brother and sister, and I was just like, "Hey Mom, can we go to that game store to see if, basically, we went to a game store that was near the food court in the mall. I didn't really suggest it, we just kind of walked there naturally. My mom suggested it. Blah. I'm terrible at storytelling. So anyway, we went in there, and I saw the Princess Heroes. And I was just like, "Mom, can I get one of these?" And she was like, "Okay." And I was just like, "I'm gonna get 2 for good luck." And she was like, my mom was just like, "Okay." So I got them. I opened them when we walked out of the store. I got another jump scare baby. I was just like, well, it's not that bad. The other one can't be a double, right? Right? I opened the other one. It was a jump scare Ballora. A duplicate. Perfect. I actually have both of the babies right here. I've only had face cam, but this tablet doesn't have a face cam feature because the camera's in the back. So anyway, let me just give you a bit of backstory on the Princess Hero figures that I had. I got 2 of them from the second series, I believe, and they were a jump scare baby and a jump scare Ballora. So basically, I got 2 duplicates. So basically, I got a duplicate of both of them, the only ones I had from that series. Do you see how bad my luck was? Why did it take me so long to say bad? Why? So anyway, if you couldn't tell, my luck is sometimes not so good. I can also tell you another bad luck story. And it's the time when I tripped on the road and got a big gash into my arm. That sounds advertiser friendly. Am I right? Yeah, of course not. What happened was, one time my cousin came over, and she was just like, "Maybe we should have a sleepover." And I was like, "Okay, you can ask, but I don't think they'll be likely to say yes." So then I went outside and grabbed my other tablet that I had at the time. It still kind of works. It's just really, really slow, and it crashed like 2 times on me before it crashed for good until it worked again. It's like a big black one that attaches itself to a little keyboard to make it a laptop. So I had that big camera or tablet with me. I brought a gigantic bag of dolls and Lala Loopsies and pop figures outside, and my at the time new doll, that was a Newberry doll. You know those ones? Yeah, mine was a redhead, and I loved her. So anyway, I was outside and I was filming it. Like, I pretended that they're like having a family dinner or whatnot. Family stuff. So I was filming, then I stopped filming, and then after I stopped filming, my papa said that I was going to have a sleepover at my cousin's house. And I was like, "Oh cool, I can't wait." So I took all the dolls, put them into that gigantic bag, and hauled it across the road. Let's just say it was really, really, really heavy. It was good, so I grabbed my Newberry doll, put her in her box because I still had it. It was actually in pretty good shape after Christmas because that was sucked during spring break, March. And I put the doll inside of it and my tablet, and I had a blanket there because it was like a picnic type of thing, and I didn't want my dolls to get dirty. I don't know. And so on the road, I either tripped on the shoes that I had, which were laced, because I never really wore laces. I didn't know how to tie them because I was boring my cousins. I wasn't even boring them. I just had them because my cousin gave them to me, but my mom gave them to me because my cousin was too big for them. Either I tripped on the laces on the shoes or the blanket. Either way, I ended up falling and gashing this humongous gash into my arm. It was one of those hits where you just get the wind knocked out of you. I could not breathe for like a few seconds, like 5 seconds. And then, guess what happened to me next? Because things just had to get just really, really bad, don't they? What happened next was, I sadly tried to drag myself from the road into my house, crying and sobbing with the pain in my arm, probably bleeding like crazy. And then, when I got into my house crying, my mom and my Nana, which is my mom's mom, were inside. They saw the humongous gash, and my mom, today, she tells me that when she saw how thick, how deep the gash was, she was just trying to hold in just a humongous scream of how bad it was. So, her and my Nana bring me over to the sink in the kitchen, which is right next to the door inside. They put me there, and then they tried to wash the cut out, and it was just a mess. A big, wet, bloody mess. Anyway, they got my stuffy kitty to make me feel better, and I was crying. They were trying to wash it out. My mom was trying to hold back, telling me that it was really bad. It was just a humongous mess. Anyway, you know those gigantic Band-Aids? Those gigantic Band-Aids? I'm going to show you in comparison to my drawing. You know the Band-Aids are that big? The humongous Band-Aids, the biggest Band-Aids you can get in a pack. Well, they got one of those on it, and they put some disinfectant on it. And the story does not end there. Actually, when I was at my Nana's house, taking a break before we went to my cousin's house, me and my cousin were just kind of laying on the bed that they had in their spare room, because they live in an apartment with two rooms, that kind of thing. And the disinfectant, since it was watery and stuff, it made the cut a leak through the Band-Aid. And when I lifted my arm up, I just saw a tiny orange, just a little orange patch on the blanket. I was freaking out. I went over to Nana, and she was like, it's okay. It was just because of the white stuff that we put in your arm. And I was just like, okay. So anyway, we went to her house fine. I was fine. I couldn't really bend my left arm that much. Yeah, it was on my left arm. My prominent arm is my right arm. By the way, it was on my elbow. Straight on my elbow, so I couldn't really bend that arm that much. A little side note before the story ends. This 2-part story. The 2 stories in 1 video thing. Guess what happened? That night, I made the first version of my FNAF OC. Now, let me just tell you something. This OC was made around when Sister Location came out, 2017, last year when I was 9. And this year it's 2018 and it's summer, so you can guess around the time that was, because it was in March last year. So, yeah, Sister Location was still pretty new at the time, plus I was already getting into the fandom. I was kind of new because I wasn't there for 4 games. So anyway, I draw the FNAF OC. It was an animatronic styled after Ballora and Baby. Like that kind of style, like a humanoid style. I had like a little bow in my hair. I had like a long dress. For some reason, I had love on it, like on one of the ruffles. It was just really Mary Sue-ish. Also, I colored it with markers that you can get from the dollar store, with those black lines on them. You know those ones? Yeah, I colored it with those. Then later on, my cousin asked me if I could make her an OC, and I was like, okay. And then later on, I made my OC a cat, but it had long hair and it had a skirt. And it was a cat, obviously. And then I drafted up a third version of the FNAF OC. This one was a mint color. Had a pink streak in its hair. It had teal, minty hair for some reason, like that color. And then it had like pink spots. Can you guess what I named it? Cassie the cat. Later on, I changed the hair to brown, and then that's how my FNAF OC was born too. Yeah, ended up being an 11-minute video, so bye.